Well, hell, man. What's cracking? Travis here bringing you some dredge action. I know exactly what you want, bro. So, yo, what's going on? Welcome in. I love you. Trav here bringing you special edition dredge versus JUND testing. And it's going to be 98% magic. Sometimes I like to ramble. This one's really going to be magic focused. What's up, Brian? Want Let's start with one match. Maybe we play another. Okay, so we're playing Dredge. We're playing against my guy Jay Brian Anderson from the Magic Mastermind. He's getting prepped for GP Charlotte. This hand is okay. We've got Crab and we've got a fetch land, so that's actually a Dredge of 6. So I'm going to it's not necessarily amazing. I'm gonna keep it. You could mulligan this. We know we're against Jund, so we might face Lightning Bolt or Thoughtseize. Anyways, Brian is prepping for Grand Prix Los Angeles, and he wants to be able to beat Jund or beat Dredge, and I want to be able to play against Dredge with Jund or Jund with Dredge. I know you guys want to see that, so our values are aligning here. So we're making a video. So you could wait on the crab so that you protect it from Lightning Bolt by playing a fetch, but there's actually more discard spells than Lightning Bolt, so I'm just going to play the crab. If it gets killed, then we're on top decks. Worst case scenario, we play Bloodcast, Prized Amalgam, and we've got a pretty weak beatdown draw, but things seem to have gone a little bit better. Okay, not the best top deck, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and mill ourselves and hope we don't hit the Blood Crypt. We didn't. There's an Amalgam and a Grave Troll, which is cool. And we're going to go ahead and get the Blood Crypt. And this way we're going to have all our colors of mana. And we have Bloodghast coming down. And we've got a couple Amalgams. My concern is perhaps facing, if Brian has a Scavenging Ooze here, it could cause us some problems. We really didn't have the best draw, could have been worth mulliganing. Yeah, by the way, Brian is in the mastermind, which means that hoping to see Thoughtseize is actually decent against us because it takes our Amalgam, which was going to be our next play and is going to be took Grave Troll. That's got to be a mistake. You took the wrong one. You took the wrong one. Should have taken the Amalgam. I believe, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It seems helpful to point out mistakes. Yeah, at this point, like, Jundis just seems totally overwhelmed, right? We just have too many creatures. There's looting, which we can use. Um, I don't think it matters. Yeah, overwhelming. Brian is in the mastermind. People in the mastermind, I give. So we could looting here, but yeah, we should just loot. We should looting. We could use this amalgam, but fuck it, YOLO. I want to win on the next turn, and if we can flip over a bunch of stuff, that would be the way to do it. Holy shit, look at this. So there's a Stinkweed Imp. I'm going to pitch the Amalgam and the Grave Troll. Didn't matter. And next turn we can play Stinkweed Imp and Golgari and Gravecrawler and get back the Amalgams and the Vengevines. And that's going to be game, boys. Just too much. I haven't completed this thought. Brian is in the mastermind. If you're in the mastermind, I give you special treatment. I help you test sometimes. I help you prepare always. I help you with your deck list always. So for those of you who want more from me, that is what I offer. I can't look at everyone's list all the time, but if you join the how do you join the mastermind? There's a link to apply in the description. You check it out. We've got a really small and tight community. Okay, so things get a little bit harder after sideboard as Brian is going to bring in some Grafdigger's Cages. I don't know if that's normal of Jund to do, but I know that his list has those cards. 4, 13. This is 17, even with the chump block. So not enough. I mean, Brian didn't have a good draw. He had mulligan and so on and so forth. Okay, sideboarding. Um, want the abrupt decays and the lightning axes. Lightning axe takes care of scoos and the other stuff, and abrupt decay gives us some game against. It's just a relevant card that gives us game against Grafdigger's Cage. The question is really what to sideboard out, because I don't want to sideboard out much of anything. Um, um, maybe Lot with Troll is not quite as good. It's getting hit by Terminate, and we're bringing in some enablers in Lightning Axe. So maybe we can cut a couple enablers. And then if Abrupt Decay is coming in, we just have to cut something. I hate cutting anything. Maybe a blood. I don't want to cut Bloodghast that much. This deck is so hard to sideboard with. I'll cut another crab and play 61. This deck is that's the hardest thing with this deck by far. Yeah, you notice we've made a couple changes um, to the list by the last one. I cut the basics except for Swamp for more dual lands so that we can come out faster. Also, I'm playing around with Ray of Revelation just because I know for a fact it would come in against Bogles, and I'm generally just not sideboarding. So even if it's like a card versus a fringe matchup that kills Rest in Peace, kills Leyline, sure. Um, although maybe Godless Shrine is not the right land. It should be a Sacred Foundry. It's about the same. I guess Sacred Foundry would have more hits because we've got the Wooded Foothills. All right, well this hand is very good, but Brian, now we need to be worried about Grafdigger's Cage. So, and we need to be worried about Scavenging Ooze. So, all right, gonna go ahead and crack this Daddy-O. Get green red. I want to get red black because I want double black. Go ahead and loot. Definitely discarding Grave Troll. And I think I'm going to discard the Stinkweed Imp as well. And the next turn we can loot. See if Brian's got what kind of disruption Brian has for us here. I kind of hope he has Scavenging Ooze just because it will make things a little bit interesting. I think that we can beat it with a really big turn 2, which is possible with this looting. Alright, Scavenging Ooze. Game on, bro. Troll. Yeah, we're going to be able to put up a fight. Stinkweed Imp. Discard 2. I'm going to discard Bloodghast, and I'm going to discard Grave Troll, and I'm going to get some action back into play. But, I mean, yeah, that's definitely problematic. What should it be? A red-green land? A blue-black land? Does it matter? So we're getting some stuff into play. However, Brian's going to be able to do at least double exile. Amalgams. Trigger warning. Okay. Coming out. Your move. Okay, well, so we're gonna get triple scoozed. We've got Lightning Axe in our grave. I mean, it seems like we might just lose to that. Definitely problematic. There's a Neonate. I kind of like Neonate. We use Neonate. We could dredge Stinkweed Imp. We can play Gravecrawler. Although, I think I'm going to go for a different approach. I'm going to attack with everybody right now, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get a Vengevine out, and I want to try to trick him into exiling a Bloodghast, and then maybe we hit a couple Vengevines. That's my hope here. Okay. Try to get a Bloodghast back, see if there's a response. As expected. Okay. Now we're going to play Neonate and Dredge's Stinkweed Imp. That can't be stopped by Skoos, by the way. Or it can be. Oh, never mind. This doesn't work the way I was hoping. Well, I think we're actually going to lose to that. Skoos on the play seems fast enough, at least for some draws. Maybe there's another way I could have played that. Well, we do get to draw a card. There's another Neonate. But I'm going to get out the Grave Crawlers. Maybe we'll actually be able to turn him sideways and go aggro enough. Next turn, I mean, we do have these lootings still in our graveyard, and I'm not sure if Brian's going to be able to turn the corner on us, and we still have like a pretty intimidating board presence, so I'm not going to count us out just yet. See what's going on. Brian down to 10, and we can top deck like Lightning Axe. Colitas, so how does this work? If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile that card and put a 2/2 black zombie onto the battlefield. It has lifelink. There's a Vengevine, which is kind of cool. We could play Vengevine, we could attack with everything. Colitas would lifelink an Amalgam, and would Scavenging would go here, and the opponent would take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but they would gain 3. I think that we actually probably have to loot. I mean, we could Neonate and try to get Vengevine, but I think that we want to dig for a Lightning Axe, or we're probably going to have to concede. And I don't see a reason to play the Neonates. I just ran the attacks and it didn't look good. Good news for JUND players, it's not unwinnable. You don't have to have Grafdigger's Cage. Although, I like the Lightning Axe sideboard that we have. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, could have been another way to play that turn. I probably should not have used that Neonate on turn 3, definitely. I actually think that we could have won, the Dredge player could have won this game if I had played a bit different. I thought Neonate was like, I didn't consider that Skoos could respond to that for some reason. I thought it couldn't. So, if we had waited until turn 4, we might have been able to just overload on this turn by dredging Stinkweed Imp twice, 2 or 3 times, and then getting Vengevine back. Yeah, I think that this game was actually winnable, or we could have at the very least prevented Brian from doing anything on his turn 4 here. Made him keep up mana for Scavenging Ooze. So I believe this game was winnable if I had done things differently. By the way, this deck list is not up to date on the mana. I changed the mana. Okay, there's a Bloodstained Mire. Look at these lands. You know Jay Bryan is legit. He's ballin'. Everything's foil and yeah, okay. I'm ballin'. Insolent Neonate. Yeah, man. We could have double Vengevine on the last turn, and that would have been 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not necessarily enough to win, but possibly. Now we're facing down some bogusness. Yeah, sacrifice the Neonate. Yikes, man. Vengevines. I'm about to scoop and go to the next game. Yeah, next one. Sideboarding. So I like the lightning axes. I think that we do want abrupt decay. The question is if we want the lot with trolls. Trolls pretty good. I think I'm gonna go with that. Would I play a fourth lightning axe in the sideboard for this matchup? Possibly. Lightning axe seems like one of the better sideboard cards available. Yeah, maybe I should spend more time thinking. I want to know from you what you think, how other dredge players. I'm not really the expert on this. I'm just one guy who likes the deck and has a hard time sideboarding with it. It's one of the harder decks to do, by the way. If you're not yet following me on Snapchat, make sure to do it. Travis D. Woo. I post non-magic things. Warning, not politically correct. And you can DM me. That's the best way to reach me. Okay, back for game 3 here. On the play. This hand, unfortunately, we've got a mulligan. It's got no enablers. This hand I quite like, actually. We've got Axe, we've got Abrupt Decay. Multiple pieces of disruption for hate. And we've got Looting, Grave Troll. And we've got pretty decent mana. So there's a lot that I like about this hand. And we get to scry too. Keep this. Do we want another Grave Troll? I don't really think so. We're going to loot and discard this one Grave Troll. Do we really want to? There's a good chance we draw something else that we want to discard. Maybe I should have kept it, but it seems like, yeah, I guess it would have been better to have that. Okay, see what's going on. I mean, discard. It would take 2 discard spells to stop us from scoozing. Damn, pretty big brick, but we have 2 lootings, and we've got a lightning axe, so no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Verdant Catacombs, which is gonna get an Overgrown Tomb. I'm ready to lightning axe. Actually, I don't think I would lightning axe Scavenging Ooze. I think I would abrupt decay it, because if we could save the lightning axe for Kalidas, that would probably be better. Who knows? I know. And then we can loot on this next turn. Tarmogoyf. That thing's still worth killing. And I am going to use the Abrupt Decay. I realize it slows us down because if we discarded Grave Troll, we would be able to dredge it. But I would really like to be able to Lightning Axe Kalidas. That card is annoying. Okay, I'm going to crack this. I'm going to get a basic Swamp. And we milled it, so I'm going to get the Watery Grave. Alright, well, we've done a lot of damage to ourselves. Go ahead and loot. Pitching Grave Troll for sure. And I'm going to pitch the Stinkweed Imp. We don't really have the ability to do a whole lot with Vengevine right now. Yet, we can actually cast it from our hand. Alright, there's Scavenging Ooze. Good news. We can kill it. Okay. Dredge, Stinkweed Imp. There is some cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and crack this. We're taking so much damage, we might just get bolted, burned out, kill ourselves here. And getting a Stomping Ground so that we can play this Vengevine if we want to. I'm going to Axe the Ooze, discarding an Imp, and I'm going to play Faithless Looting. I've made several mistakes this match. I guess putting the Grave Troll on the bottom was not correct or whatever. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm gonna discard the Vengevine here and keep the Stinkweed Imp. Because at this point, we actually want to top deck from our deck because we can't actually do a whole lot. See if Coletus comes down. Until we get a land or a 1-drop. Here's Coletus. Okay. Definitely annoying. I'm going to go ahead and top deck. We kind of need to. We don't have life from the loam. So we do have our land. Say we play a land, we get Bloodghast back, we get Amalgam back. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and loot. Discarding or dredging a bunch. Dredging a bunch. Discarding. Cool. Okay. As long as we're not dead, I think that if we're not dead and if we don't get lightning bolted out, we don't get I mean, we're gonna be able to get back 4 Vengevines next turn, unless Brian has another Scavenging Ooze. So that's the good news. By the way, I'm still thinking back to Scry, turn 1 of this game. I'm not actually sure that was wrong. I should F7, F6. Okay. I'm not actually sure that was wrong. That was a tough call. So, if Brian cannot Scooze, we're probably going to win. Or if we don't get double lightning bolted. Is this Scooze? Come on, no Scooze, no Scooze. Maelstrom Pulse. Jeez. That's pretty brutal. No attacks. But I think that we can still win. What do we want to dredge? Do we want to dredge here? So we have, oh, we can't play our grave crawlers because of what happened. So we actually need to go to our draw step. We can't play 2 Stinkweed Imps yet. That shut us down. What does Wooded Foothills get? Does it get anything? Are we going to be able to play 2 Stinkweed Imps next turn? So we've got our 2 Blood Crypts, Overgrown Tomb. I put in a second Overgrown Tomb. There's a Steam Vents. Do we have Steam Vents turned over? Not yet. Could dredge Grave Troll and cast it. I don't think that's the play we want. 6. Actually, we're dead if we don't play Stinkweed Imp. So, sad things have happened. I think we're going to lose. We can't get our Vengevines back without... So, say that there's something in our 75, like Stitchwing Scab would have helped there, because we could have brought it back and then played the Gravecrawlers, and then we have 4 Vengevines. Our Dragscape Zombie Rotting Rats would have been better than Headrun Crab this game, because we could have returned it and then got our Gravecrawlers, so that's worth considering. Although Headrun Crab was pretty good game 1. Alright, I'm going to ask for a rematch. MTG Traders bot. Nope, wrong one. Here you are. Are we going to get killed? No attacks. Interesting. Probably incorrect. Say we go to 8 and get a Steam Vents. I'm going to do it. I don't know. Steam Vents. What do we have left? We have Amalgam and we have Gravecrawler. Those are the cards we want to draw. Steam Vents and Breeding Pool. So if we're able to top deck an Amalgam or a Gravecrawler, then we will be able to play Vengevines. There's a Lightning Axe, which is actually pretty good. 5 damage to target creature because we can cast it now. And if we can cast it, we can attack. We're still like on the verge of being dead. Very much so. Oh, this doesn't even work because he can sack two things. Well, it kind of works. I guess I should have waited. I haven't really actually played against Coitus that much. Man, I really badly want to win. Sacking two things. I think Brian, I'm gonna tell him he should have attacked with two zombies. Definitely. You should have attacked with the few with that zombie. Agreed. Blood gas can't block. And we're dead if Stinkweed Imp dies. But it's still not over. If we draw our amalgam, if we draw our... I'm not going to attack. Why attack? Dead do a lot of things. I also don't know. Playing it safe. Not killing me is risky. Right? I was dead on board. Blood gas can't block. Rematch? Noob! Brian, you need to step it up, bro. Watch this video. We were dead on board. You could have just attacked with everything, and I couldn't. You could have Colgan's command and attacked for 11, or no, 9 when I was at 9. Okay, let's play again. I concede. So I really do like the lightning axes. I think either game 2 or 3 might have been winnable if I had played a bit better. So we're going to play one more match to confirm or deny. I will try to win and see what happens. Also, that gave me points for rotting rats, which I previously hadn't liked very much. I think that could be good as a one of, as another way to kickstart the chain. So I'm open to playing a rotting rats at this point. I think I might make that adjustment, like over one Hedron crab. Just having one in the deck actually does a lot. Here's a hand that, if this was not a swamp but a blood crypt, would be very good. But as is, it can't do a whole lot. This hand is a bit better. Bottom that. I'm not going to mulligan this hand. I don't love it, but especially don't love it against Jund, but I'm not going to go to 5. Looking for better. There goes a lot with Troll. Yeah, maybe Jund is good against Dredge, or okay against Dredge. I'm going to lead with the Blood Crypt. It's the least painful. We're going to need to get a swamp. Or we might want to get an overgrown tomb, a stomping ground, and a watery grave. Although I also don't want to pay 9 life. So the alternative is swamp, amalgam, and we can't cast Vengevine this game. Huh. Huh. The only game we won involved we were on the play against a double mulligan. It's generally hard to lose when that happens. Anyways, here are the spells. I'm gonna make that change actually. I'm gonna cut one crab for one rotting rats. I think I like it more than Stitchwing Scab. Probably. And that could have won that last match. Interesting. Double Inquisitions. That was probably a bad Inquisition because it actually... What's my phone doing? It's off, but it's taking pictures. The fuck? Okay. I definitely like discarding Bloodghast and Grave Troll, and we can keep that Vengevine. So I'm gonna get Overgrown Tomb off this. I'm just gonna crack it now to save time, basically. I guess it would be there's certain worlds where it's important to wait, but I don't think we live in that world. It might come up. Like if he Lilianas us, then I should have waited to crack end step. Because he can make a sacrifice the Bloodghast, but whatever. Like, I'm not scared of that play anyways. Yep, didn't matter. Dredge, Grave Troll. Nice. We can play Gravecrawler. but that's the only one, so I'm gonna attack here. Push some damage. Okay. And then crack a land. Probably gonna get the Stomping Ground off of the Wooded Foothills and gonna Faithless Looting. I mean, we might discard this. Interesting. Yeah, there's something to be said for waiting as well, but okay. I like the Stomping. Well, instead of Stomping Ground, we get Breeding Pool. That might be relevant, like we don't need another red, I don't think. And we already have our double black, so let's go ahead and loot. See what comes up, see what comes down. Nice. There's some Venge Vines. So I'm actually interested in potentially discarding 2 Venge Vines. Nah, I'm gonna discard the Grave Troll. It's better to keep dredging, definitely. Then, like, is a Dredge 6 better than a Vengevine? You tell me. I think a Dredge 6 is better, but I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, maybe we should have pitched the Vengevine because I think maybe we want to go back to top decks as well from the top of our deck. Okay, see if we're gonna face this Kalitas monster again. Kalitas is tough. Okay, there's Grave Troll. So we've got. I want to play Gravecrawler right now because I don't want to lose the opportunity. Okay, Amalgam coming. And then we can either play the Hadron Crab first. Nah, there's not really a reason to because we're not going to be able to fetch. It's not going to change a whole lot. I guess maybe it would have been better to crab than to fetch, than to Gravecrawler, because then if we hit another Amalgam, we'd get it. It seems like we're probably going to win. I actually like that we have the Vengevine because I want to cast it next turn from our hand. Potentially. Okay. I don't really know how we can lose at this point. See what kind of disruption there is. Damnation, I don't know if he's playing Damnation. If so, we want to be careful to keep a fetch for to get Bloodghast back. Okay, there's a Lightning Bolt. And there's a Terminate. If that's the case, maybe I don't want to play this Hedron Crab. I don't, because I want to save it in our hand to get Vengevines back. It seems pretty hard to lose at this point. Who knows? I mean, if there, yeah, okay. That was good. All right, I'm gonna do this again. Axes coming in, Abrupt Decay coming in. Axe seems great. That should be a 4 of, perhaps. I'm concerned about this Grafdigger's Cage thing, because we were talking about sideboards. I know he likes that. He's playing it. I'm gonna pitch a couple trolls and a couple crabs is what I think here. Brian sent a message. Where is it? Why can't I see it? Uh, Sent a message. How do I even click on it? I click on it and nothing happens. Is there a button that I'm missing? Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Try it out. Tell me, how would you sideboard for this matchup if you know that they're playing Grafdigger's Cage? If I don't, I probably wouldn't board in the Abrupt Decays. I would probably want 4 Lightning Axe. Just the best way to deal with Skoos. Where do I see my chat log? I know I got chatted. Um, I didn't see what you messaged me. What's going on? Yeah, maybe we'll do a third match if it seems necessary or relevant. I think 2 is also a good amount. Comprehensive dredge matchup versus JUND seems pretty relevant. I know some of you guys are playing in Charlotte, some of y'all are playing in LA, so I know this is relevant stuff. It's possible the message was that he had to do something. Like, I mean, the message could have been, how do I look at my messages? Message, like, he had to go do something. He has a baby. I'm on a live stream right now. Oh, where's the message? Oh, Scooter Cletus, pretty much. So this hand is quite good. It doesn't have disruption. Interesting. Ooh, lightning axe. I like it. Lightning axe. So what do we want to do here? So we go neonate and dread and flip over stinkweed imp. I kind of want to save the neonate as a creature to get Vengevine back. So I kind of want to actually start with the looting. I realize that we need to draw discard, so we don't have his potential to go quite as crazy if we're doing that, but I don't care. I want to save the neonate to make it easier to Vengevine. I'm going to pitch a Stinkweed Imp, and I'm going to pitch a Bloodghast because I'm going to get on the board ASAP. It is a tempo matchup. Got Lightning Axe. If I win, we'll do a breaker best of 3. If I lose, then whatever. Maybe it's not great for Dredge, but it does seem actually like a pretty close matchup. It seems like it's going to reward good play and pilots. Tarmogoyf. No big deal. I prefer to save my Lightning Axe because I would bet that thing's going to be playing on defense. Okay, there's Axe, but I would prefer to play... Actually, I don't even know about Lot Troll because I want to be able to play 2 cards next turn. Maybe we want to keep up Lightning Axe. This is kind of tough because we could just neonate right now. I think it makes sense to play a lot with Troll. It also makes sense to protect our life total. So I'm going to get the basic Swamp and play a lot with Troll. Yes. Tough. This is actually surprisingly fairly interactive as far as, oh well, some of the games are, as far as do I attack, do I block. That's one thing that I thought is a misconception about Dredge historically, is that it's totally uninteractive. So the games when it wins in a blowout tend to be totally uninteractive, but the other games tend to be quite complex board creature battles. And even if it's uninteractive, the Dredge player has a lot of tough decisions to make as well. Okay. This is a matchup where just casting Stinkweed Imps is pretty decent. Can be decent. Hmm. Interesting. Comes in tapped. I'm gonna go ahead and discard a Stinkweed Imp. I don't care if it gets terminated. We're gonna want to dredge this anyways. Okay. There's an Amalgam, and there's a Gravecrawler, so it probably makes sense. Hmm. I want to play the Gravecrawler while we can. This thing could get terminated and we can lose that ability. I would like to. Yeah, just that Lot with Troll can die and then we won't even be able to do it. And then we can decide whether we want to use our Lightning Axe or not. Which is tough. I kind of want to attack with everybody and see what happens. I still want to save Axe for Cletus if possible. or for Scavenging Ooze. Okay, discard. I didn't play a land. Maybe I should have so that we could regenerate. Don't really care if it gets terminated. Lightning Bolt. Discard another Stinkweed Imp. And sure, I'll discard the Neonate. Can't regenerate. Oh, but then yeah, maybe this was maybe this was all wrong. 3 damage. Okay, let that resolve. See if there's another bolt. And then maybe we just want to lightning axe that. I might have played this game totally wrong. But Lot Withdrawal has trample, so if it doesn't get hit with another bolt, I mean maybe it does. If it does, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, but that's just so much damage that we don't even care about Kalidas at this point. Damnation is what can get us, if anything. If anything's getting us, it's Damnation or Anger of the Gods. Are we going to see Damnation? Kalidas, we don't care about. Damnation, Damnation, Damnation. Interesting, Knight of Souls Betrayal. Wow, that actually shuts us down pretty nicely in certain ways. It does mean Dredging Stinkweed Imp is pretty irrelevant. Lightning Axe is a great draw. Message. Match 3. One more to settle it. 5, 6, 7. Well, Brian's got one more turn. Grudge match, unless he's conceding. That that wasn't lethal, but we were gonna win. All right, so I made the change of bringing in 1 Rotting Rats. I like it because if we don't have a land, if we don't have a zombie, then we can't really get anything going, and you need to go to the top of the deck, which I like, but I prefer it if we just had a Rotting Rats to go to. I'm gonna try out actually. Okay, whatever. 1 is fine. Dredge. Dredge. Um, okay. Oops, challenge me again. Where's my chat? Is there a chat history on Magic Online? Do I need to go on Facebook chat and say challenge me again? I think I need to do that. Yo, Jay Bryan, challenge me. Okay, here we go. Sweet. I didn't have to say it. I got my mind read. The Rotting Rats are just an experiment. I don't know that I think they're better. Won the die roll and we're playing first. This is a very interesting one. Very interesting. Very interesting. For all the marbles, all the Jenna marbles. So we could mulligan or we could keep. If we keep, I'm going to neonate and I'm going to discard a Stinkweed Imp, but we're going to go to our draw step. Oh, we're going to go to draw a land. In that case, we've got 2 draws to draw a land, and if we don't, it really sucks. So I'm going to mulligan. This hand isn't really better. Maybe I should have kept the first one. This hand is not better. That's why you don't mulligan, people. That's why you don't mulligan. That's why you got to take risks on 7 sometimes. It's you know when it's like, ah, I should have mulliganed. No, you shouldn't have mulliganed. You took a risk and it didn't pay off. That happens sometimes. You shouldn't have mulliganed. You did it right. And I guess I'm going to do the Rotting Rats thing. Or I guess I'm going to play Bloodghast because I don't want to even discard a card to Rotting Rats. I want to save it, if possible, for something bigger. I want to go back and gamble, baby. Go back and roll the dice. Attack you. Oh, interesting trade. I guess he's going for the Keep my life total high thing, which is actually probably safe because he has so many cards on us anyways, and we're not even dredging. Might as well keep your life total high, bro. I feel it. Interesting. Okay. No Kalidas. That's my war call right now. No Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas. We can win. Yeah, man. We had time. Yeah, man. We had time with the opening hand. We had time. We didn't even need to hit before turn 3. Discard, discard, and no Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas, no Kalidas. Come on. No bagel, no bagel, no bagel, no bagel. Hey, no bagel, no bagel, no bagel, no bagel. Hey, here's a Colgan's command. Pretty weak Colgan's command. 2 damage and what? We discard a card. 3 mana, kill a Bloodghast. Sad. Alright, I actually like our chances in if there's no Kalidas. If there's Kalidas, we scoop him. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Are we scooping? 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 I don't want to scoop. I don't want to scoop. Ooh, Scavenging Goose. Also just about unbeatable as well. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. Do I like Rotting Rats when it could have been a Lotleth Troll, which would now be a 3/2, and if we drew a card here, would be able to attack through. If this Rotting Rat was, yeah, then it would have been hit by Colgan's command. Okay, I scoop. Congrats. We lose. Move to sideboarding. I'm going to do the same things. Abrupt Decay is coming in. Lightning Axe is a must. Gonna cut the... It's so arbitrary. I just don't want to lose Gravecrawler, Bloodghast, Stinkweed Imp. Why don't we go with the 1 Rotting Rats? Cut 1, go to 2 Crabs. Go to 2 Trolls. How was I doing it before? We had the 1 Rats. I guess I'm cutting the Crabs. I guess I'll cut the Crabs. They're pretty good, but we want to be attacking, right? I don't know. Fucking hard to sideboard. I'm doing it different every time. It's an experiment. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I'm asking questions. Hmm. Hmm. Keep. This is a good one. It's also a fast one. We're going to be able to get out Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam by turn 2, no matter what the opponent does. And that should give us game against whatever the opponent does. Maybe fast enough to beat a Scooze. We go Faithless Looting into Bloodghast Amalgam discard. Actually, I don't know if that's what we want to do, because I want to discard Stinkweed Imp and Dredge. So, okay, Mulligan from the other side. 100% Stomping Ground Looting. That's the one thing I know. That's the one thing I know. I like the Abrupt Decay. You know, I think I'm going to discard the Amalgam because I feel like we want to draw a 3rd land. So it's not a big deal if we're not dredging because it seems like we want a 3rd land anyways. There's a Bloodghast. And that's happening. Sure. And I'm going to go ahead and get a Watery Grave. No. Yeah, Watery Grave. Oh, we can't get it. I think Wooded Foothills should turn into a different land. I guess we're going to get an Overgrown Tomb. Anything black. Overgrown Tomb or a Blood Crypt. What's more likely, we want double red or we want double black? Or we want double green? Get the Overgrown Tomb, I guess. Watch this thing come in, and we've got 7 power on the second turn, and we've got Abrupt Decay to punch stuff through. And we've got more coming. Third land. We've got certain top decks that are great. Third land is going to be great. We're going to make our draw step great again. See if this is a Goyf or if it is a Scooz, or if it's nothing and we're facing Lightning Bolt. So that's kind of annoying that we have bricked on being able to do anything. Got bolted, and now things are getting scary. It's going to be hard to beat Kalidas. Going to be hard to beat Knight of Souls Betrayal. We do have Abrupt Decay. Courser of Crewfix. I'm going to kill it. If there's a Scooz coming later, congrats. Okay, back to top deck. Looting, I'm happy to see. Looking for that fetch land. No fetch land is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. Do we want to use Stinkweed Imp? I still kind of want to go to a draw step. I still want to go to draw step, actually. Interesting. That dredging has not really happened this game. Have I played it wrong? It's possible. I don't claim to have played this series 100% correct. Certainly not, in fact. There's a Dark Confidant, interesting. There's a Neonate. The opponent is down to 12 life, by the way, so our Bloodcasts are going to start having haste. Although I don't really see us... Oh, I'm going to loot because there's a small chance that we're able to get a Vengevine this turn. We drew 2 lands, which is fantastic. We can finally discard this and do some real dredging. We can attack. And opponent goes to 8. That's super interesting. I think we might even be able to beat Kalidas. So the question is whether we want to play this Neonate or not. If we play the Neonate and dredge, it's basically going to make it less likely that we're going to be able to Vengevine, because next turn we can... Well, we also have Abrupt Decay at the ready. I kind of like playing the Wooded Foothills here. Bringing stuff back and ready to Abrupt Decay a blocker. Untap, dredging Stinkweed Imp. We can play Insolent Neonate into Stinkweed Imp and have a good chance of hitting Vengevines, unless there is an Leyline coming, which seems unlikely because he kept Confidant, and even if Leyline is coming, then we still have Amalgams to attack with. So this has been my conclusion, is probably throw an Abrupt Decay and then untap, dredge Stinkweed, play Neonate, dredge Stinkweed, play Stinkweed, attack with Vengevines or Vengevine. Swamp is annoying. I want you to take damage. Every point counts. So even a Kalidas, I feel pretty good against. We won. Okay, going to game 3. Cutting the crab. I don't know how I feel about it, but the Abrupt Decays have been very good, actually. Or have they? They've been okay. The axes have been all stars. I'm a big fan of it. So let us continue. Super interesting match. So whether we win or we lose this game 3, match 3, I think we can declare that it's a close matchup, right? I would like to win. I would feel better about myself and have more self-esteem and carry it more into the other things that I'm doing if I win. but it's not a big deal because it's close matchup and it's been a good learning experience. And I know you guys wanted to see this, so there it is. If you want to be in the mastermind and be part of the preparation team, there's a link below. Check it out. I'm so dependent on those exile cards. Yep. All right. This hand is definite keep. Okay, so let's plan out our lands. I like getting a Blood Crypt and then off of the Wooded Foothills. And playing a Looting. Discarding Stinkweed Imp. No, discarding Gravecrawler or Grave Troll. And I want to discard the Stinkweed Imp too. We have this other axe and Faithless Looting, and we should be able to dredge. So, no big deal. I'm still scared of Grafdigger's Cage. We haven't seen it, and it's like practically unbeatable without Abrupticate. It's unbeatable if we can't Abrupticate it. Oh, interesting. All right, Dredge Grave Troll. Nice. There's the Rotting Rats thing. So on this turn, we could just play two Gravecrawlers and get a Vengevine back. It's less explosive, but it's the best tempo play, and we can do more cool things on the next turn anyways. So I feel like I want to make the tempo play here. We can looting, but then we're gonna have to wait one more turn before doing damage. Although actually we'll probably get our Vengevine lightning bolted. So I'm actually gonna change. I'm actually gonna switch it up and move off that plan and go for the Faithless Looting here. And hope we don't turn over all of our swamps. Stinkweed Imp. Golgari Grave Troll. Is there a Bloodghast? No Bloodghast yet. So I'm going to pitch the Grave Troll, and I'm going to pitch the Amalgam, and I'm going to play a Bloodstained Mire. And we have another Blood Crypt in the deck to go and get to Lightning Axe. Untap, we can play two Grave Crawlers, even if we're facing a Scavenging Ooze. You know, the biggest concern, and I'm not scared about discard, probably that came out, and we have a good chance of turning over a Bloodghast with this Grave Troll. So I like our situation, and I think it was fine to wait because Brian's telegraphing Lightning Bolt, Terminate, Abrupt Decay, something along those lines, and we want to make him have to use all his mana on this turn. So there's Courser. Do we care about that? There's Maelstrom Pulse. Do we care, or do we want to save Lightning Axe for something that is actually going to beat us? It's a good question. I feel like do we care that much? So say that we Lightning Axe that, and then we untap, and then we dredge, and then we play 1, 2, 3 Grave Crawlers, and I'm gonna save the Lightning Axe. That seems kind of important actually, because Maelstrom Pulse plus Kalidas is one of the few ways we can probably lose. So I'm gonna go ahead and get an Overgrown Tomb, untap, Dredge Golgari Grave Troll. There's some Bloodghasts. Concerned about Knight of Souls Betrayal. Gonna crack this. Do we have lands left? Okay, what do we want? The Watery Grave? I say we get the basic swamp. Keep our life up. I don't think we're gonna need double red. Maybe we do. Maybe I made a mistake there. There's a lot of approximate decision making in Magic where you just don't have time or you don't want to spend the time. I guess we've got 17 minutes, so I could spend time, but I also don't want to be laboring over minutia too much because because I've got limited brain power as well. Okay, Vengevine, only one Vengevine. But we've got 3 amalgams. And then we've got a question, do we want to play this other Gravecrawler? I think so. Yeah, even now I can feel my brain is starting to slip. Okay, sure, we'll play another Gravecrawler. And then F6. Attack with Vengevine. Yeah, so, I mean, pretty much we're going to win through Kalidas at this point. F7. Oh, really need to click it. Yeah. All we really need to be concerned about is, oh, there's Maelstrom Pulse. It's like whatever. All we really need to be concerned. Oh, there's Kalidas as well. But we've got Lightning Axe for it, and I believe Brian has taken out his discard. The only thing I'm really concerned about is Knight of Souls Betrayal. Even Grafdigger's Cage at this point is not scary. We've got Lightning Axe. We can even dredge, play Stinkweed Imp. We've got this Rotting Rats, which is cool. Yeah, I'm coming around to liking Rotting Rats as a 1 or 2 of. It seems good. Team Dredge, Team Dredge, 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 Team Dredge. Let's go. Let's do it. So we get our amalgams, Maelstrom Pulsed, and 3, 4, 5, like whatever, right? Okay. There's a life gained. Still want to keep that axe for Kalidas. Interesting. Stuff's getting shuffled away. Is this going to be Knight of Souls Betrayal? Beatable, but super annoying. Beatable, but super annoying. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Don't really care that much about that. Actually, I think he might be dead. I believe if we axe one of these creatures, even if we don't, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, he's dead on board regardless. Lightning Axe. That. Discarding. Okay. Lightning Axe that. Discarding this. Attack with everybody. And GG's Dredge. Never saw Grafdigger's Cage. Fun. Okay, so this is how we know Dredge is the real deal. And JUND needs to take it seriously. Okay. GG's, everyone. Thanks for watching. I had fun. Let me know what you think in the comments about the matchup. And if you want to see more, if there's other matchups you want to see us battle against, here it is. Make sure to check out, a few adjustments. I'm trying out a few Rotting Rats, and I really like the mana base improvement. Going to only 1 basic seems really good. So, thank you so much. Love you. And if you want to apply to the mastermind, check that out. There's a link to that below. And love y'all. And see you in the comments. Adios.